So, hello and welcome to the CLA's inaugural online event. Today focusing on diversification, a topic that we in the regions in the CLA talk about an awful lot. Businesses just can't stand still, they need to go forward, and diversification is one of those tools that does that. And I'll come on to diversification in a bit, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't at least give you a brief update as to what we at the CLA are doing on COVID at the moment. These are uncertain times, and we're working very hard on your behalf to try and sort this out. So we're talking to government about agricultural and horticultural workers. We're talking about with landlords and tenants and the business support that the government have put out. The Sybil's scheme, the VAT deferrals, they're there. The details still need to be beefed up a little bit, and we're working with the banks and the British Business Bank on your behalf. All of our information is going on our website. We're producing what seems like daily guidance notes at the moment on these key issues, so I would recommend anybody log on through my CLA portal, and all the information is there to hand, and it is really, really good. But also read it, consider it, give us a ring in the regions. We are here to help. And so diversification, as I said, it's a topic that we talk about a lot. It's probably the most common question I get. I've got some land, I've got some buildings, what do we do with it? And that's everything from planning through to tax considerations and family dynamics. And I think that's really, really important. And I think we'll hear about that a lot today. So we've got four really, really good speakers today. So we've got Professor Paul Phillips, we've got Ted Howard-Jones, David Miller, and Lee Mate from Brachers, who we're very, very fortunate to have supporting this event. So a big thank you to Lee for that. As this is our inaugural event, we're not quite sure how this is going to go, so please give us some feedback. Obviously the presentations are videos, so it won't be a one-to-one interaction, but if you've got some questions, please give us a ring, please email us, and we'll make sure that those questions get to those speakers. So without further ado, and I'd normally say crack on, but thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Hello, my name is Professor Paul Phillips, and I'm Professor of Strategic Management. I've been asked to put together this short video just to provide an introduction to my contribution to the CLA conference, which unfortunately due to the coronavirus has now been postponed to the autumn. So I've been asked to give you a taster of my session so that in the autumn you can come along and pick up the pieces from this short video. My talk basically covers three areas. The first area talks about basically the change in the tourism market, and this has been best explained by the new normal environment which is now occurring due to the coronavirus. Things like value propositions and business models will have to change in the tourism business. So if you're proposing to enter the business through a diversification strategy, there are some fundamentals that need to be considered. So what do you need to do to get that winning strategy? To use a cook analogy, I think the winning strategies need to have a secret sauce. And to get the secret sauce is like in cooking, one has to experiment to see what is those winning recipes. And we will be exploring those type of areas. And the thing that is very important is how do you actually achieve, formulate and implement and evaluate these winning strategies? Because the diversification strategies, obviously high diversification, the greater the risk. So the situation you don't want to be in is to go via a diversification strategy route and find that it's value negative or even value neutral. What you want to see is that your diversification strategy would lead to a value gain in terms of value. And we will be also looking at the importance of the customer in the mix of value proposition and business model. So those are the things we will be looking at, and I hope you're able to join me later in the autumn.
Hello everybody, my name's Ted Howard-Jones and I'm going to present to you Saddle Up, Happy Hackers and Opportunity. This is myself and my wife Jackie, and we live in the Chiltern Hills above the village of Turville, better known as the Vicar of Dibley. So we are also very close to the windmill, best known for its starring role in Chitty Bang Bang, and next door to an estate called Wormsley, which is where Garsington Opera is held. We're surrounded by other rural businesses like this barn catering to walkers at the village of Turville, and this is our happy hackers in the village of Turville with the windmill above them. Go. So the question is, can I make additional revenue from my equine facilities? Could your yard be a base for a relaxing riding experience? What do you need to offer? What are the risks and costs? Importantly, what kind of revenue can you make? And how do you assess your target market? And what sort of cost-effective marketing can you do? Well, that's what we're going to be covering in this presentation. As you can see, our happy hackers have a lot of fun here at Chelsea Farm riding. This is one of our favourite canter hills above the village of Turville on a lovely sunny day, and clients enjoying themselves with a lovely uphill canter. So what are the market trends? Well, the equestrian sector is worth £4.3 billion. 96% of riders do it for pleasure and 74% of riders are female. 3 million people have been on a riding holiday in the past 12 months, mostly aged over 55. This equates very closely with our experience. And experiences are what are rocketing. Lots of people want a great holiday experience. That's why they come to our business, Chelsea Farm Riding. So what do we offer here? Well, it's park and ride really. Secure parking, a mounting block, tea and coffee, 15 mapped circular rides that people can take. They either go self-guided with their own map and take their own horses, or we take them out on guided group rides and private hacks. When they get back, they can wash their horses off and enjoy a picnic on picnic tables and so forth. So we've evolved the park and ride concept into horsey holidays. People come with their horse box and camp, or they stay in our twin-bedded holiday cottage, or they may come with a caravan. We run a small caravan site alongside the riding holiday business, and of course they can go on their circular rides with maps and so forth and make use of a fire pit and Wi-Fi and a barbecue area for the evenings. Changed in marketing in the last few years? Well, a lot. Frictionless purchasing, alongside that's things like Amazon Prime. Lots of social media, of course, Facebook, that's extremely important for us. Influencers, who will bring people to your business. The ability for your customers to leave reviews, testimonials. Experiences are very, very important, as we've said, and the customer journey. Costs have plummeted, and a very important aspect is, what is your addressable market? How far will people drive to see you? In our case, lots of the day riders drive up to an hour, and holidaymakers will come from an hour and a half or even 2 hours away, which gives us a very large addressable market. Content is really king when it comes to marketing, and videos are what we find works really well on Facebook, and Facebook is our key marketing tool and the way that we get out to our audience. Videos reach thousands and thousands of people. So marketing, what makes it work? Well, we're online with a website and booking system, which has to be mobile friendly. We've got lots of reviews through our booking system and Facebook. Facebook is the key area for us in terms of social media, and we work really hard at it, and have got a great following. We don't forget offline marketing through sort of posters and flyers and branded clothing, and we've been lucky enough to work with a large brand called Harry Hall, and we found actually that the costs of marketing are fairly minimal. So what works? Well, we find that really a consistent approach, great content that changes on a weekly basis, a very disciplined approach, particularly to updating our social media and providing a very engaging content with very good response, are all key factors in making sure that our marketing drives our business forwards. And really the tools and the techniques that we employ at Chelsea Farm Riding hold true for anything that you're marketing to the equine marketplace. I think there are a lot of lessons that other businesses could learn from us, and we're very happy to share our experiences with you, and particularly if you want to follow the model of providing safe hacking in the countryside. There's a great demand for it, and we welcome any questions about how we've done this and the business model and the pitfalls and so forth. And of course, we'd be very happy to advise you on marketing as well. So do get in touch, do come back to us and send us your questions, and we'd love to talk to you. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Lee May. I'm a partner at Brachers. I specialise in town and country planning law, and I was due to deliver a seminar for you at the CLA event in March. Unfortunately, as a result of the coronavirus, that's been put off until the autumn. But when we do get together, I'm going to be talking to you about a number of issues to do with town and country planning, insofar as they relate to diversification. A couple of the topics we're going to be looking at is the need for planning permission. So, for example, if you are looking to diversify into a new venture, do you need to get planning permission in order to do that? In some cases you won't need to, because it will fall within the definition of agriculture, but in other cases you may need to get planning permission because it does not fall into the definition of agriculture. So obviously one of the topics to look at is, what is that definition for planning purposes? If you do need planning permission, then there may be permitted development rights which you can use, and we'll be looking at the scope of those permitted development rights, both in terms of altering your existing operation or diversifying into a new area. And then finally, if you have to apply to the local planning authority for planning permission because permitted development rights don't exist, then what considerations will the local planning authority be taking into account when making their decision? So we'll be looking at national planning policy and local planning policy and other material considerations. So those are the sort of areas we're going to be looking at when we get together. Hopefully that will be soon. But in the meantime, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you all when we can get together. Thank you.
I'm a third generation farmer, farming 90 acres of top fruit, apples, pears and cherries with a small amount of arable on a rotation. As with most small farms, profit is illusory, so we had to find something else to try and help the farming business continue. After a number of options, I decided the best thing we could do was start a campsite. So we used about 6.5 acres. We first did it in 2016, and depending on what happens with COVID-19 and the lockdown, we should be in our 4th year this year, and we've grown each time. Now we've ended up with 15 bell tents that we rent out fully furnished, and we allow 45 bring your own pitches where people bring their own tents and small camper vans. As well as that, we've also got a food unit and a shop, and last year we had a leader grant to help us get a new toilet and shower, which is very important. Overall, it's been a great success. It's been hard work, but it's got to the point now where actually we're looking to try and expand. But the key lessons I'd like to bring out for you if you're thinking of doing it yourself. The first one is finding the right site on your land. Is it suitable to have people coming and going? And that's the next point. You must be prepared to have people, coming onto the farm. They don't wander as much as I thought they would, but nonetheless they might be moving around. You've also got to be prepared to deliver on customer service. You're dealing with the public and they have very high expectations, and you must be prepared to meet them. You've also got to have someone that can run it. It's particularly busy May to September, when farmers are generally at their busiest. Is it going to be you? Is it going to be a family member? And you've got to be prepared to give time out of season with the bookings and the preparation as well. You've got to think about the size. How big is it? And how will it impact on the farming operations? Next, the type. Are you going to provide glamping, be it bell tents, yurts, shepherd's huts, or are you going to just have bring your owns, where people bring their own tents or caravans? Obviously one is more expensive to set up but has a higher turnover, and the second one you need more people to get that turnover and profit that you might need. Next, the services to whatever site that you choose. Water is essential, and you then also need access to drainage, be that a new digester or access to mains drains if you have it. Power is less important with some of the modern off-grid solutions. And lastly, planning. It should be straightforward to get a simple farm campsite, as ever it's not. You need to be prepared to spend a fair amount of time and effort getting it through the planning process.